This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. So I am super excited to be live streaming today, as well as recording an episode of the Good Neighbor with a very special guest in our studio, and we're thrilled to have her and her little bird friends that we can hear in the background. I absolutely love that. With us in the studio, I'm sure you'll be just as excited because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Miss Jennifer Hasty, who is a trauma therapist. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, like I said, we're excited to learn all about you and what you do. So if you don't mind, why don't you kick us off and tell us about your practice?
Well, I am a licensed professional counselor in Johnson City. I am a EMDR trained therapist. EMDR is a trauma therapy that is extremely effective for many aspects of negative beliefs and traumas that occur in our lifetimes. I've been in practice since 2019. I've been a therapist, so I did this later in life.
Nice. So trauma release, you ever heard of, I just did an interview with someone who focuses on or specializes in fascia release therapy. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-hmm. I am.
I found that was incredibly interesting, but I want to hear more about you. So how did you get into the therapy business?
Long story short, I have been a single mom probably over my lifetime, probably about 25 years or so. It's been a long time as a single parent. And when I was around 40, which was about 15 years ago, I was having panic attacks at work. I was in such a state, depression, anxiety, everything else. And one day at work, after a panic attack, my boss said, "Hey, I think you should go to EAP, which is an employee-assisted program for people to get kind of short-term therapy." And when I went and I told the therapist, I said, this thing happened to me when I was around 10, and I keep having flashbacks of this. Maybe this is why I am the way I am. I was suffering from claustrophobia. I couldn't go into Walmart on a Saturday on a busy day at the first of the month. Just forget it. I was going to have a panic attack if I got anywhere crowded. So it was kind of a claustrophobic way. And so since we only had like 3 to 5 sessions at work, she said, "Let's try EMDR." And I had never heard of this. And so she prepped me, and over 3 sessions, that last session changed my life. I came out of there with clearer vision. I was standing up taller. I was actually smiling. And my brain had reprocessed that memory, taking it from something in my emotion brain, the center of my brain, and put that memory into long-term where it needed to be. So my emotions were no longer affected by the memory. And so I left there going, "Oh, everybody's got to do EMDR. I have to learn how to do this." At the time, I only had an associate's degree and was like, "Oh, I'll never be able to do that. You have to have a master's degree to do that. And that's just way far off, So I kind of talked myself out of things, but it took, literally probably a good 10 to 12 years for me to actually have my master's degree and get trained in EMDR. And so now I'm helping people in the therapy that helped me.
Wow. Great story. And MDR stands for what?
EMDR, stands for eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. So, do you want me to continue?
EMDR. Yes, please.
EMDR. So eye movement, EMDR kind of works with bilateral stimulation. So it's back and forth, just like you're in your dream and REM sleep. Mm-hmm. Your memory, your brain is kind of processing what happened during the day, your dreams, all the stuff in your REM state. So the theory is that through bilateral movement, bilateral stimulation, either with hands, in my office, I use tappers that buzz back and forth so people can hold these tappers in their hands. You can also tap on your arms like this. You can tap your legs. You can tap your feet. Drumming is bilateral movement. Some say chewing gum, but I don't know about, to me, that's just munching. That's not like bilateral. You can't really crunch one side and then the other. But you're just, and even listening to music can be bilateral stimulation. But in doing that, you're kind of letting your body know, hey, we're not in the memory right now. We're not there. We're not in the actual thing that happened. We are in the here and now. So buzzing back and forth kind of keeps your body in here while your other foot is in the memory. There's all kinds of one theory is that it's activating both sides of your brain to do this. I find there's a number of theories about it, and maybe we really don't really know how it works. But it's just kind of, in essence, it's taking. So eye movement back and forth, reprocessing. While you're moving back and forth, we're talking about the memory. You're kind of getting a new perspective over what that memory means. People may go into it with a belief of it was my fault. And we want to change it was my fault to I was a kid. There was no way I was responsible for that. So while we're reprocessing, you start to kind of get a zoom out view of the memory. That's what happens for me when I'm doing EMDR is I end up, it's right in your face at first. And then throughout the memory, as you kind of reprocess it, it's like you're looking through a ring camera in the corner of your room up on the ceiling, and you're kind of looking down at it. So a lot of people describe this as it feels further away. The memory feels further away now, or sometimes it's just, I'm not bothered by that anymore. And it's the subtle kind of, it's not this instant thing. You have to go out of the office and get triggered by the thing that was bugging you before. Like for me, it would be going to Walmart. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not having panic attacks anymore. I can single out sounds. PTSD has a way, post-traumatic stress disorder has a way of kind of clustering all the things and makes us very hypervigilant. So we're listening to all the sounds. We're looking out for danger. Our brain is just doing that to keep us safe. And people like hate themselves and hate their brain. Why am I like this? And I think I'm jumping around a lot, so I apologize for that.
That's okay. I asked the question.
But yeah. So reprocessing is just kind of taking the memory off of the emotional hook in your brain and putting it into long term so that it's not knocking on the limbic system or the amygdala in your brain that holds this fight, flight, or freeze kind of thing. So that memory just keeps knocking, danger, danger, danger. And when we do EMDR, we kind of take that hook off, so you no longer have all these strong emotions to these previously activating triggers or flashbacks. So we desensitize you to the memory as well.
Very fascinating. EMDR.
It is fascinating. Yeah.
EMDR. So what are some myths or misconceptions in your industry, in your business?
Oh, gosh. So many. So many. A lot of people say therapy doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's not I don't need therapy. You just need to learn how to tough it up, But in essence, old school stuff. I remember a former mother-in-law, oh, she's going to a doctor for the head. It's like, so, your brain is the driver of your body and of your nervous system. Hormones our glands kind of produce hormones based on our stress responses, based on joy, based on contentment and scared, whether we're scared or fearful or angry. Our body is such the supercomputer that it releases these hormones to help us and to keep us safe. So people think that your brain is not connected, like you have panic attacks and you just need to handle it. You just need to figure it out, When essence therapy just kind of helps you untangle all these stuff. It makes you think about things in a different way. And hopefully with thinking about things in a different way, your body and your feelings, your whole nervous system just learns how to relax and learns how to not take things personally, how to how to step back from anger, how to put boundaries up, how to, all these things. So there's just so much, but to believe that your brain is not, your mind does not deserve health care is a big misconception. Very, very huge. But our brains do deserve mental health care in whatever
Absolutely.
ways we can get it, you know?
Amen, sister. I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. Couldn't agree more. Well, you worked hard to get where you are now. Outside of work today, what do you do for fun?
I am a jack of all trades, master of none. My
Okay.
little ADHD superpower allows me to dive fully deep into many things, crafting things. I also do expressive arts in my practice. So I'm very crafty and wanting to create and make. And my mother used to go to things and say, I can make that. So I've been doing so now I'm making bread. I'm making bread right now, but
Nice.
trying out different sourdough things, and made a beautiful loaf of bread this morning. I like ballroom dancing here in our community in Johnson City. I love going to Shakti in the mountains and learning about uh, different ways of self-sustaining things, and be around wonderful, beautiful people that are also working towards their growth as well. So,
Did you say Shakti in the
um,
mountains?
mhm, mhm.
I've
Do you know
interviewed.
Shakti?
I do.
You
I
have
do.
interviewed
I've
Kim?
I have.
Yay!
I
I
sure
love
have. It's been a
her.
while. It's been a
Yes.
while. Very familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
familiar.
Love Kim.
Awesome. Awesome. Bread. Love bread. To me, it's fascinating. Sourdough, starts with, there are some sourdoughs that are hundreds of years old. It's insane. The
Wow.
yeast, that
No,
the yeast.
mine didn't. My first one, I made a great one at first, and then my second one, my starter, but something happened, so I'm starting over. I'm starting all over, but I
That's
love
okay.
it that sourdough bread is good for our gut and our stomach and our body, and so I'm trying that out because our body can have all kinds of symptoms to trauma, tearing up our gut and our digestive system and our nervous system itself. So eating the right foods can help heal too. So I'm all for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if fascinating. If Jennifer, if you could think of one thing that you would like our listeners to remember about you and your practice, what would that be?
You know, therapy is something, and what my tagline is for my business is be the hero that you needed as a kid. Therapy is a thing to help heal our inner child, to help heal ourselves. The little one still lives inside us, and sometimes that's the trigger itself. So doing this, yes, it can be scary, but it can also be so liberating.
Very freeing.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Very good thing to remember. Awesome. And for those of us who are intrigued and would like to learn more about how you might be able to help them or me, how can we learn more?
Well, my website is a little bit unconventional. I do swear quite a bit in my practice. I'm kind
That's
of,
okay.
so my website is jhastytherapy.com. My schedule right now is full, and I do have a wait list. So, whereas I don't need the business really, but I wanted to come on here and just kind of gives people a general idea of what EMDR is. There are many EMDR therapists in our community. And, I just encourage people, whatever modality you want to do, brain spotting, there's so many different modalities for trauma therapy, and to find someone in your community who does it. But you can reach me through my website, and there's a contact form there, and also my phone number. The contact form, I can give resources by email. I'm happy to kind of add you to my wait list if you would like. And then I also have an office mate who also is certified in EMDR and, in trauma work. Yeah.
Very good. Awesome. Well, Jennifer, I can't tell you how fascinating it's been to learn about what you do in EMDR and how it benefits our community. And I appreciate that so much. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with us and share your thoughts with our listeners. And wish you and your family and your practice all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much, Skip.
Appreciate it. Maybe we can have you back sometime and talk some more about EMDR.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptry-cities.com. That's gnptry-cities.com or call 423-719-5873.